to the Global Film Lens, the podcast where we explore the intersection of cinema, culture, and the human spirit. I'm your host, Pixie Chroma, and joining me today as we journey to Oceania is Flicker Frame.
Good day, Pixie Chroma. After our insightful look at UK and Irish cinema last time, today we're venturing to the incredible, diverse, and often beautifully stark cinematic landscapes of Australia and New Zealand.
That's right. The films from Down Under possess a truly unique spirit, often gritty, sometimes fantastical, and always deeply connected to their environment and culture. We'll explore everything from the cult phenomenon of Ozploitation to how the vast landscape acts as a character, the growing prominence of Indigenous stories, and their fierce independent spirit.
We'll also touch on their impressive genre-bending capabilities, especially in post-apocalyptic and horror films, and how both nations have become a significant Hollywood talent incubator, launching many stars and directors onto the global stage.
Let's begin our exploration in Australia, a country whose cinema is as vast and varied as its continent. For decades, Australian films have stood out for their distinctive voice, often born from their unique geography and history.
One of the most fascinating movements in Australian cinema is Ozploitation. This term refers to a wave of low-budget, often genre-defying exploitation films from the 70s and early 80s. That developed a huge cult following. They were gritty, often violent, and undeniably Australian. And at the forefront of this movement, though he transcended it, was George Miller.
George Miller is a visionary director, and his early Mad Max films were quintessential Ozploitation, taking advantage of Australia's desolate landscapes to create a groundbreaking post-apocalyptic world. Our first recommendation is his more recent, but equally iconic, Mad Max: Fury Road.
Mad Max: Fury Road is an absolute masterclass in action filmmaking, a relentless and visually stunning chase movie that redefined the genre. It's a testament to Miller's genius and how the landscape acts as a character, with the Australian desert becoming a key player in the film's immersive world.
Another seminal Australian director who masterfully uses the environment is Peter Weir. His films are often characterized by their atmospheric quality and exploration of psychological themes, often set against striking natural backdrops. Think of Picnic at Hanging Rock or The Last Wave. While not a direct recommendation for this episode, his work profoundly shaped how the Australian landscape is portrayed on screen.
Moving beyond the high-octane, Australian cinema also has a strong tradition of powerful, character-driven dramas and a remarkable independent spirit. They're not afraid to tackle difficult subjects or tell stories that are uniquely Australian. For an example of a classic that powerfully uses the landscape to frame a deeply human story, we suggest Walkabout.
Walkabout is a haunting and visually stunning film about English schoolchildren stranded in the Australian outback who encounter an Aboriginal boy on his walkabout. It's a profound exploration of culture clash, survival, and the primal connection to the land, showcasing early examples of Indigenous stories woven into mainstream narrative, even if through an external lens.
Now, let's cross the Tasman Sea to New Zealand, a country often referred to as Aotearoa, whose cinema has truly found its distinctive voice in recent decades. New Zealand film is known for its incredible natural beauty captured on screen, its unique blend of humor and drama, and a powerful commitment to Māori storytelling.
And when we talk about New Zealand cinema, one of the most celebrated figures globally is Jane Campion. She's a true auteur, known for her powerful, often feminist, and visually stunning films. Our recommendation from her is the universally acclaimed The Piano.
The Piano is a masterpiece, a visually gorgeous and emotionally intense historical drama set in 19th century New Zealand. It's a story of passion, art, and the struggle for female expression against the backdrop of a wild, untamed land. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes and multiple Academy Awards, solidifying New Zealand's place on the global cinematic map.
More recently, the world has fallen in love with the inimitable style of Taika Waititi. He's a true genre-bending talent, effortlessly blending comedy, drama, and elements of fantasy, all infused with his unique wit and often a deep well of humanity.
Waititi has become a global phenomenon, directing huge blockbusters. But his independent New Zealand films are where his signature style truly shines. For a perfect example of his work, at our final recommendation, we have Hunt for the Wilderpeople.
Hunt for the Wilderpeople is a delightful, quirky, an incredibly heartwarming adventure comedy about a rebellious city kid and his grumpy foster uncle who go on the run in the New Zealand bush. It beautifully showcases the landscape as a character, features fantastic performances, and weaves in Indigenous stories and cultural nuances with humor and grace. It's pure joy.
An incredible display of cinematic talent from Oceania. From the raw energy of Australian Ozploitation and post-apocalyptic visions to new lyrical dramas and unique blend of humor and heart.
Both nations have consistently used their stunning landscapes as characters, provided platforms for Indigenous storytelling, and nurtured an independent spirit that allows for truly original filmmaking. And of course, they've been massive Hollywood talent incubators, with countless actors, directors, and craftspeople finding global success.
So, if you're ready to experience the unique cinematic voices from Down Under, we highly recommend starting with these films for pulse-pounding action from Australia. Mad Max Fury Road for a haunting classic that defines the Australian landscape, Walkabout for a powerful New Zealand masterpiece, the piano, and for delightful, genre-bending Kiwi charm, Hunt for the Wilderpeople.
These films are not just stories, they are immersive journeys into unique cultures, stunning environments, and the profound human experiences that shape them.
That's all for this episode of the Global Film Lens. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable trip to Australian and New Zealand cinema.
Join us next time as we continue to unpack the world's film industries. Until then, keep watching, keep thinking, and keep exploring the sacred spaces found on the Global Film Lens.